A little bit of knowledge is about the kite. Right? The kite. Now remember the Beatles song, which was for the benefit of Mr. Kite. Right? And this kite idea is basically there's interesting stuff in it. Like for example, right? When you have a kite is up in the air, right? And you sort of know in the Masonic circles, the Masonic saying is up in the air, right? Which is referring to how something is there, you know, like imaginary. It's like a fantasy. It's like the other saying, that's away with the birds or something. That's for the birds. It's like this idea of being up in the air, right? Like the mind. So it's like not grounded to reality. It's not earthed in reality and sort of grounded. It's up in the air, right? That's like one of the big ideas of it. So when the D hexes and all that, it's to put the sort of mind of the hexed mind up in the air, right? So it's like grounded and all that, right? So it's a Masonic saying, like a ball, obviously like a ball. Keep it up in the air, right? So that's like a Masonic saying. So you have that here for the benefit of Mr. Kite idea, which was the Beatles, right? So if you look at that as a sort of chord, it's sort of like when they put hexes on, right? It's for the benefit of Mr. Kite, right? And the kite is so the kite becomes a symbol for the sort of hex victim, or the natural person, right? So it's all done for the benefit of Mr. Kite, right? Who's the kite? So the sort of when the hex victim becomes the kite, right? You look at the history of the kite. The kite was invented a long time ago anyway, in China or Japan, that type of region, right? Probably 1,000 years ago or whatever, by the ideas and that. But in reality, at least a couple of 100 years ago, and it's an old thing, the kite, right? And the kite has a very simple frame, a wooden frame, right, on the back, which is basically comprised of 2 sticks, right, forming a sort of cross shape, right? 2 sticks on the back. So from this, when you obviously fly the kite, right, you have the simple framework on the back attached to a string, right, and from the string you can pull the string, and you can obviously direct and make the kite move in whatever direction you want it to go, right? So you take that and apply it to like the hex victim or the natural, right? You basically pull the strings. There's the pull the strings idea, right? We know what that is, right? And so you can basically direct the sort of kite to go where it wants, to where you want it to go, right? So you can apply that directly to the hex victim, right? And obviously this also applies to the later idea of puppets, right? Puppets, where you have basically the same control mechanism on a puppet, right? You've got that cross framework, right? And if you remember the Godfather, the movie The Godfather, right? The poster has that like a puppet idea. It's got the cross thing, right? The cross mechanism in the hand controlling the puppet on the end of the cross mechanism, see? Right? So obviously we can take this and apply that to Jesus as well, the Jesus stuff, right? Because you basically got the Jesus character is obviously on the cross, right? So there's your sort of your kite or puppet mechanism, right? Control mechanism, right? And he's up a height as well, right? Because he's always elevated in these pictures and that. Jesus is always like elevated up off the ground, right? And higher than the other, like the classic picture of Jesus with the 2 thieves, right? And Jesus is the higher up one. See what I'm saying? The 2 thieves are lower down. Jesus is the higher up of the 3 on the crosses, right? So what does that symbolise? So taking the sort of remember they always have the Jesus as a dualistic character, right? So you have your type of profane Jesus idea becomes the kite, sort of the hex victim, the natural who's getting sort of moved about, directed by their sort of hand. You see what I'm saying? The hidden hand type of idea, right? So as we can see, this sort of knowledge here applies directly into this sort of Jesus idea, I think. Flying the kite.